questions.
Oh, that's wonderful. I'm excited. Let's
Come
go.
on in. Well, thanks so much for being here today. Do you want to take a moment to introduce yourself to my friends?
Yeah, I'm Mona Singh, a longtime resident of Kerry, and I'm running for one of the two new at-large seats for Wake County Commissioner. I bring new ideas and I bring a technology background along with volunteering background to this race.
So exciting.
Well, that's great. I'm going to kick off. I know we all have some questions for you, but I'm going to kick off with asking you a little bit about quality of life here in the Triangle and in Wake County, and in particular to talk about some transportation issues. I think that our transportation in the area does affect everything that's going on, including growth, upward mobility, and a lot of other things like that. So could you speak a little bit about how you feel about transportation?
Yes, I think transportation is the biggest equalizer for Wake County at this moment in time. We've been growing a lot. We're spread out quite a bit, actually, and a lot of the growth is happening in the outskirts of Wake County. And I think for people to be able to lead productive lives and have good quality of life, we really need to invest in public transportation. And the public transportation has to be fast, reliable, frequent. It has to be what people really want.
Thank you for saying that. And I think about what that means for our families. I'm a public school teacher here in Wake County, and our schools are really struggling. And we see every day the impact of our students and in turn their families. We still don't have a state budget. Our schools are in many places falling apart. And I really worry about what that means for our children now and for the future of not just Wake County, but our country. So what does that mean for you and your race in the future?
Yeah, I'm deeply committed to public education. My mother was a teacher, my husband's a professor at NC State, and my two kids went to public schools in Wake County. And I'm really thankful for the education that Wake County has provided our kids all these years, and I want to keep it that way. But that's at risk right now. With, just as you mentioned, cuts at the federal level and at the state level. My commitment to public schools is not just about making sure we keep the lights on, but also that we solve the infrastructure problems. Not having HVAC closing down schools really bothers me. Having mold in schools really bothers me because it's not just about education, it becomes about health. After a point, it's really affecting the health of the kids and also the teachers and other people who work in schools. So my commitment is going to be about kids and teachers in their totality, not just books, but teacher salaries are important. If we're going to lose good teachers, it's going to be detrimental to Wake County's growth.
I'm excited to hear the answers because I was a teacher for 30 years. And when I was a young teacher, I was able to buy a house for $40,000 and I was able to use that to ladder up into a place of security. And that is impossible for teachers now. There's no way.
Yeah.
And also, we have children who have gone away to school and they want to come back to Wake County and they want to live near us. And it's simply impossible. They cannot afford housing.
Yeah. And that's, I think, a big concern. So we've grown a lot and we're continuing to grow, which is not a bad thing. We don't want to be like a Detroit. So I'm glad that Wake County is growing. But what we need to do is plan for all the people who are coming in. We can make things easier so we can make permitting faster. There's some rules that help nobody. If we take those away and think about, multi-unit housing, connected to public transportation, we can actually get cost-effective housing that people can afford because we really want teachers, firefighters to be living in the neighborhoods that they serve. It makes a very big difference to their quality of life. So I think we can do a lot if we just put our mind to it. And that kind of, having a living neighborhoods where people are connected, whether it's the elderly or young. 33% of people actually live alone in Wake County. So having walkable multi-unit dwellings where people can walk to a grocery store and also meet people as they do that, because we know what does that do to a person's life? It actually increases their life expectancy because they're making social connections as they walk around. So I want to invest in those. I want to make sure we can have housing affordability.
That's great. Thank you.
And that is all connected, right, back to the transportation issue. Because if the affordable housing is farther away from the center of the triangle, public transportation really helps people,
Yes.
thrive in the community.
Yeah, absolutely. And we see it everywhere around the world where there are these neighborhoods, but they're self-contained kind of neighborhoods, and they're connected, very well connected, so that you can get to work. I want the people who live here. I've come across lots of people who've moved in to Wake County, but they can't get to their job because they don't have transportation. I think making people be able to reach their work in about 20 minutes, that's the equalizer, right? So they can live in a much cheaper home. They don't have to buy a $800,000 home in Raleigh. They can live in a $300,000 home in Wendell, but they can then get to their work pretty easily. That would be awesome, right? That would be the equalizer. And I think that's what we should focus on, affordable homes and also the connection, so people can get to work, get back.
And healthy infrastructure for our schools.
Yes, yes, absolutely.
Absolutely. This is great. Thank you so much.
Oh, my pleasure.
Thank you. So we know you've been out there, trying to get to groups and talking to people, but most importantly, when can we vote? When are we going to go and vote for you?
Yes, so early voting starts February 12th, which is right around the corner. It's a Thursday, and it goes on till February 28th. You have to check the times because they've cut down the timings a little on Saturdays and Sundays. Weekdays, it's pretty long days. There are 12 sites across Wake County, so that's good. Those are plenty of sites. February 12th to February 28th is early voting, and election day is March 3rd.
Around the corner.
Right around the corner, yes.
How do I find out who else is running in this election cycle for primaries?
Yeah, I can show you your sample ballot.